TK instead of the Thresh. Similar thing, looking for Peel. Well, this will be the first time we see the Tahm Kench, and we'll give you some of those options, but zoom out and tell me what you see about the comps.
I think Mad Lions has a more well-rounded comp. They have good scaling, they have good lanes, they have good team fights, they have good objective control, they have good Baron Rush, they have good single target damage as well as AoE. So I think Mad Lions comp is really well-rounded. But on the side of INTZ, there's a little bit of mismatching. You have the Senna Kog'Maw Tahm, which is kind of playing to peel back, try and get as much poke as they can and just hit frontline. Okay. Whereas Set and Camille want to dive on the backline, try and get onto this Orianna. So I definitely favor Mad Lions' draft, but if Tay can play like he did last game with Envy on this Camille, then I'm definitely favoring them, because studios, you're in your kit, you're preparing for the game. So Mad Lions on the edge of being knocked out of the tournament here alongside INTZ, so this is a really important tiebreaker.
It absolutely is, and INTZ coming in with another different look. The Tahm Kench and the Kog'Maw, not something that we've seen. Phase Rush for Envy's Kog'Maw. Taking a look as well across the rest of the Rift. And, I mean, execution's what I'm looking at, right? Graves, Wukong, Leona, seeing how they go in and deliver that shockwave for Humanoid. If you are a European fan and you're hoping for Mad Lions to make the 4th seed and then set themselves up for a best of 5 against Supermassive, you need Humanoid to load into the Rift right now, especially because he's going to be up against this Kog'Maw. And if this engage composition can get poked down by those living artilleries, they may never get a chance to engage on INTZ.
Yeah, INTZ don't have as much lockdown CC as Mad Lions do. They have the Orianna Ball, they have the knockups, they have the Leona as well. So Envy really needs to be careful in these fights. If he dies at the start of the fight and you leave Mikao in the backline, I think he's going to die alongside him, because Tay and Shinny are the ones diving in. Redbird's just the only peel, and you've only got one eat, so you only got one tank HW. So whichever target they decide to go for, they can always swap. And they've got such good zone control as well. I mean, Mad Lions, they have the Wukong ult, really big zone control in fights. They've got the Grave Smokescreen, they've got the Orianna Ball, they've got the Leona. So INTZ need to be really careful around these neutral objectives. Make sure they position properly, don't stack up too much, don't face check too much. Try to avoid as much CC as they can.
And I think it's so important also to recognize the mobility. Frankly, on kind of both sides of the Rift, but a little bit more towards Mad Lions. Yep. You know, Nimbus Strike, the dash from Graves, Arcane Shift, Zenith Blade. There's a lot of tools to deal with, and Envy at level 1. Already going to be under some pressure from that Orianna passive. She's one of the most annoying level 1 champions because of the clockwork windup and the ability to use that ball to just push you around and bully you into specific parts of the lane.
Yeah, if you look at the map here, you can see INTZ has the bot push. Mid's obviously contested. I think they have the top push as well. And Shinny is moving towards this top side. So both junglers kind of mismatching each other. Both full clearing to opposite sides. Looks like they'll both take the opposite side Crab as well. And INTZ's bot lane might need to be a bit careful if Shadow's coming down here and Shinny's on the top side.
Well, let's see what Shadow can do. He has not found the level of early game impact that we saw out of his regular season in summer. And Humanoid right now slowly being pushed towards his tower. The AoE there from Envy doing pretty well. And Shadow is shadowing Humanoid, just lingering, but the wave is pushing towards Humanoid, so maybe wants to prior just finishing off those waves.
Yeah, Shinny's going to have to run mid, I think, after this red buff. He goes to Crux. He's leaving his mid laner quite vulnerable here. Shadow could appear at any moment. Envy's kind of playing with fire here. He has no vision. The wave's not really crashing, so no potions either. So Humanoid can decide to fake pressure this lane, where you fake that your jungler's around, makes him have to base, or you can just go all in and just start hard trading on him and then have Shadow cover you in case Shinny comes. But Shinny went for the Krugs. Looks like he's going to move to the Crab afterwards, and Envy might have to TB back here. I think the wave's frozen for Humanoid.
So it wasn't the greatest gank setup, of course. Graves and Orianna different until level 6. Yep. But let's turn our attention to the top lane, which is being heavily pressured. Shinny's now making his way towards the top Scuttle Crab. Arome's down about a wave of CS. And I do want to talk about this Wukong priority, that in Group A, we've seen a bunch of Wukong and really didn't show up too much in the other group. Like, can you theorize for me where this comes from? Is this just from scrim culture? Is this something that this group's meta has evolved into?
It mainly comes down to matchups and stuff. So when Tay picked the Camille, there was 4 or 5 top bans, right? So you're kind of stuck there and you're like, well, Jax is down, Mordekaiser is down, Shen, Renekton, Ornn. All these kind of meta top laners are out, and Wukong, although
you go down the priority list.
Exactly, you go down the priority list. You go down from S+ to S to A to B. And Wukong is still up there. He's not really out of it just yet. I think his teamfight prowess is really good. He has a really good lane phase, especially against the AD champs with his passive. So we saw it last game as well. Armut on the Wukong, although I wouldn't really attribute the loss to him. I think he played pretty well in the fights. The champ itself looked pretty strong, but Tay has a 10 CS lead right now, and Humanoid TP's back. So Envy, if he does base here, he's going to lose another wave. So Humanoid definitely having the pressure in mid. Tay has the pressure in top and bot lane. Just looks like a farming
Let's see how many of these CS Arome can pick up under the tower. Didn't see. I thought Humanoid missed that cannon minion in the mid lane. I thought you would have made fun of him for that. It's been pretty customary when it happens. But nevertheless, plus 10 in the mid, -8 in the top, and bang on even in the bottom lane. Back has already come in here for Kazi and Kaiser, and they've got their first itemization making their way to lane pickaxe instead of the tier.
So if you look at mid lane, just like a sort of key point in League of Legends itself. So there's lots of trading in mid. Envy had to base first and TP'd back, so that means Humanoid was still on his first base items. He took some damage onto Envy, chunked him out, and then he TP'd back later on. So that means Humanoid had more gold when he based. He had more potions as well coming back, so that means he has more pressure in mid. So you can see that coming activating on the map. He pushed in the wave, he put this ward on Raptors, he's found Shinny, he's poking him out, he's being a bit of a nuisance, and that's kind of how you want to use your mid power in the early game. If you don't have like a set or a Galio where you can dive bot, you want to use it for vision, for map control, and just keeping the enemy mid under tower so you can respond to any play that happens on the map.
Very well played by Humanoid, and we need to see if he can keep it up, right? Can he maintain that level of play? The wave is now moving back towards him, and Teleport came in for Arome in the top lane, Doran's shield, Doran's blade, as well as a longsword, so he's definitely hanging out with Doran this game, and Tay comes back to lane with the Sheen. Now, once again, Shadow showing priority in terms of his time and his presence by lingering around Humanoid. Obviously, the wave this time pushing towards Envy, so maybe a little bit of cover, or do you think he's looking for something more now the Shockwave is available?
No, you said it right, Trevor. Basically, that's how you want to play the mid jungle. You want to make sure he can keep the push. So when your mid's playing this aggressively and has the push and is trading really hard, you want to be behind your mid so that if Shinny were to come engage onto Humanoid, then Shadow would be there to respond as Tay tries to get the hook shot, but Arome.
It's so frustrating to deal with that Warrior Trickster, and you know, because Tay's initiation is so telegraphed with that hook shot, it gives Arome on the Wukong options to make his way out. But it is important to note, Tay has been bullying that top lane. Plus nearly 20 CS. Now the initiation goes in. Kaiser finds the Zenith Blade. Redbird taking most of the damage, and Kazi dropped below 200 hit points. One more, two more autos may just about do it. Kazi escapes for now. Mikau and Redbird winning that 2v2 for sure.
Looks like it's going to be a 2v2 mid-jungle here. Shadow thinks he can turn, but Tay's here. He needs to back off.
Here as well. This is going to be a 3v2. Flash was used by Shadow to get over the wall. Quick draw is available, and Tay holds on to the hook shot. Arome, because the wave was under his tower, and he is behind, he didn't want to leave the lane. The cost would be too high.
And not only does Tay have Arome under tower, he has a 10 CS lead. He also has TP advantage. So this whole top lane phase is going so poorly for Arome. He's trying to push it out now. Tay is looking for a plate, I think, here, or so he might have to back off. He has a Sheen for tower damage, but just in general, Tay shifting his pressure to mid to help the mid jungle out of INTZ to actually contest the 2v2, because Humanoid push in the wave, Shadow sits behind him, then they move together. Him and Shadow take the crab. You saw Shinny get pushed out about a minute ago, and then they try to keep this up, but the way to break that is to throw in another person, try and get a 3v2, push them out, take the vision, got a little bit of wards into their jungle, and then INTZ can start playing the 2v2 more. So 10 CS lead for Humanoid almost. Tay, when he gets back to top, should catch this wave and be 10 CS up as well, but Karzi holding on to those sums. He was holding on to the heal, and he was on about 100 HP.
Definitely realizing the risk that he was in, you know, playing it on a knife's edge. And I love the pace of the game so far. We've been able to have a special segment, Learn League with Lamont, as you've been able to clearly demonstrate and explain how mid-pressure can unlock jungle invade. And then we just saw Tay with the pressure he has top lane. Look at the CS advantage he's built up. He's got teleport as well. So if he wants to back, shop, and TP, or maybe follow up on some sort of play, he can do so. But when we look at the minimap, Redbird has already made his way to the Rift Herald, and Mikau making his way there just a little bit later because Kazi has to deal with the minion wave in the bottom lane. He's got no TP to interact with it, and it looks like INTZ will get potentially uncontested access to Rift Heralds.
I think a bit of miscommunication from Mad Lions there. Shadow and Kaiser ran towards the Herald thinking they can contest. Arome was in base. Kazi went bot, so I think definitely the call there was to cross map and take the Drake, but look at top. Tay just has...
He hasn't backed yet, has he? Since picking up the Sheen earlier, so I think
he still has teleport as well, so I think INTZ, if they can move their pressure from the top side, you can see they have 4 pinks on the top side. If they can catch this bot wave, push it out and put the pinks into the bot side, they should be able to get the Drake as well, because Tay is basing. There's 2 wards behind Mad Lions bot lane.
I think they'll be able to back TP away in time, right?
Yeah,
I don't think
playing safe.
I don't think Tay will have enough time to TP in behind Kazi and Kaiser.
TP's top, so.
But literally, I was pointing out those wards at you, very excited, like it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but no, it didn't.
So he does TP back top. Shinny and him are playing pretty well. They have the Herald, and you definitely want to use it for Tay because his Camille last game when it was ahead looked so deadly, and Arome does ult onto Tay.
All right, Shadows, yeah, Shinny's here as well. Cyclone committed. Collateral damage is available for Shadow, and I think he's been able to sneak his way into this top bush. And now we've got an Alcove Gamer set up. Looking at the minimap, Shinny and Redbird, they backed away. So Tay could be in trouble if he pushes forward.
They don't have any CC, so he can instantly hook shot out if he sees Shadow. So Shadow does the smart choice here. If you're a solo queue jungler and you do dash in there and push the wave in, then you reveal your location. And if you do that, then INTZ, maybe their bot lane would have stayed for an extra wave. Maybe Envy would have played it more aggressively around mid. So giving information to teams in the early game is definitely what you want to avoid. So Shadow does base there, avoids showing himself. And look at all the pinks on the top side of the map for INTZ.
It's insane.
They need to get those pinks to bot side. They need to start controlling this dragon and try
Was that set up? I missed the timing on that. I would assume that was set up for the red, for the Herald.
For the Herald, exactly. They set those all up to the Herald. I'm expecting them to transition them more towards bot side. Probably more defensively, like you just saw from Redbird there on the Wolves bush next to there in the blue side jungle. Because Mad have river control. Their bot lane's always having the push. They have mid push as well. So Aroma's going to have TP up soon. So they need to respond to some defensive plays towards bot. Or alternatively, keep the top side vision. Put Shinny back up there. Perhaps bring Envy with a TP or Redbirds with a roam. And try to put the Herald top to get this Camille rolling.
Guys, see which option they pick. We're 11 minutes into the game. And so Marcus Aurelius, give me some expectation setting for the next 10 or 15 minutes. You know, once we get to 1-2 items, how do you think the team comps are going to interact with each other? I know we've covered a lot about the dive. Can Leona, Graves, Wukong, can they find the Kog'Maw? If they can they do that while Camille and Set don't obliterate their Orianna and Ezreal?
Yeah, starting from the beginning of your point, if you look at the items, there's all four of the carries in the game have tier. That's why the game is so slow right now. Everyone's scaling up. Everyone wants to get to 2 to 3 items. Kog'Maw comes online at level 11, 2 items. Orianna, kind of the same, wants the Seraphs, wants to get something like the Looted Echo as well. Rabadons. Ezreal as well wants the Gauntlet, Death Stance, Senna wants to get the Yomus. There's loads of items that want to be picked up here, basically, Trevor.
Back in the day, those tiers, if you had multiple, it would be called a power trough.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Just so you know. I know, you're young. I'm teaching you some things too, you know. I've got a few in the bag that even you don't know.
Thanks for blessing me with your knowledge.
Right, so let's carry on. Now the power trough phase is currently on the way. Arome has that flash available, holding on to it for now, and he gets just dunked down. It's Tay that picks
This is so good for INTZ. They can Herald top. Mad can't really respond. The platings are up for 2 minutes. I think this Herald needs to be used top now. Tay gets first blood, 11 minutes in. He has a 20 CS lead. He's a level up. He's really going to start winning the side lane. So,
and they didn't even need Redbird. Like you said, put Shinny up there, put some pressure on him, and it unlocks Tay, and there's the Herald.
Yeah, I think Shadow can defend the tower, but the plates are going to go over to Tay. And he should be building towards that Triforce now. 240 gold from the plates, 400 gold from the first blood, but Kaiser's up here. I think it's going to be a 2v2. The TP's behind them.
This is very low levels at the moment. Shinny forced to flash, goes golden for the time being. Here comes Arome. There's the Nimbus strike into the crushing blow. Gets enough damage down to get Mad Lions their first kill of the game, and it lands in Shadow's back pocket.
Yeah, good play from Mad Lions there. Arome using his TP to actually get something for the team. It looked like Shinny could have lived with the W, but lots of damage coming out from the side of Mad Lions, and I think that's just an overstay. I think Shinny and Tay, I would like to see the replay, but I think they should have pushed the wave together and heralded it, hit the tower together, and then ran away together. Do things together, right? You don't want to push the wave alone, one of your bases. System. Exactly, the buddy system. Make sure you do these plays together, and INTZ, although they did get punished there, they are still heading gold. I think the gold is on the right members. Tay just picked up the Triforce, so he should be able to bully this top matchup quite hard.
What I love about games like this, elimination, do or die, you know, last chance saloon, you can feel the tension in the decision making. We've had some bloodbaths throughout the course of the group stage.
Oh yeah.
And this is the last chance for Mad Lions and INTZ, and you can feel it. Now, acknowledging the fact that the team compositions as well, right? They want items, they want to scale, they want to farm. So that also helps out the slower pace of game. But for the time being, INTZ and the CB LOL have got themselves a gold lead. They picked up first blood. They took down a couple more plates than their opposite numbers, and it is feeling to me like they have a little bit more momentum on this side.
And as the items come in the mid-game starts to roll in, Trevor, you're going to see two different playstyles. Mad Lions are going to start objectives just like this. They're going to want to fight with the Wukong, the Leona, the Orianna. So they want to be really aggressive, start the fights, get the wombo combos, whereas INTZ, they want to be more calm and collected. They want Tay to push outside, deny gold by doing it by minions, have the Tahm Kench and Senna use their globals, but INTZ are looking for a fight. They don't have TP on Tay.
Shinny's going to use the Hex Flash. Mad Lions will be able to pick that up. A Showstopper comes down. Shadow will get taken out. Okay, losing one, but picking up the Dragon and getting a teleport, probably worth.
Definitely worth. I think INTZ's comp really needs gold. Dragons don't matter too much. Getting gold on something like the Kog'Maw, Senna, the Camille, when these champions get ahead, it's much easier to control the later stage dragons rather than the early stage dragons. So focusing on gold is good for INTZ. I think Shadow misplayed that. He could have just ulted and flashed over the wall instead of letting Shinny get behind him. Yeah, I think that's just a poor play from Shadow, but he does get the dragon. He has a kill, so he's not really out of the game. But Herald's coming up soon, so I think that's going to be the next objective that the teams are looking at. And look at mid lane. Envy's hitting on this tower. Tay's there as well. They might lose mid tower for this because if Humanoid had the base, I think.
Yeah, definitely the case. It was 3 plates.
Oh no, he was soloing blue. Tay must have pushed him out.
There we go. INTZ were able to pick up 3 plates before they dropped. They pick up the tower first blood as well. They're 2,000 gold up. There was a line you said just a few minutes ago. Shadow misplayed that. I wish I'd heard that less throughout the course of the play-ins groups. And I know it is a critical thing to say and maybe a little bit unfair in this small context, but in the greater context of the 4 games that we've already seen played, for a guy that had such a huge impact in summer, especially in the early game, he's not found his rhythm. Now this time around, with the help of a teleport from Arome, was able to pick up the first kill on that Graves while helping out Arome in the top lane. But look at the unenviable task. Humanoid, the only one in the top 5 gold members in the game thus far, because INTZ, they've got the kill, they've got the farm, they've got the first tower, and they're in a very good position moving into this mid game.
Yeah, Herald is the next objective for both these teams, and INTZ taking down that mid tower means contesting mid tower is so much easier. You can play really far forward and catch these waves aggressively. If the Mad Lions step up too far and you punish them, they have no tower to fall back to, so they should be able to get the mid tower a lot easier, push it into tier 2s. The only real way I can see them Mad Lions contesting it is Humanoid zoning away Envy. Envy has no flash, so Herald's not the biggest deal. At 15 minutes in the game, you don't get plates, but for Mad Lions, it's huge because that'll unlock mid tower for them.
Yes.
Whereas for INTZ, it's only really going to unlock a side lane tower. So denying it's always good, but I think having a straight 5v5 and losing it when you're scaling with these champs is not the best thing.
And remember, of course, when Child was looking at being started a little bit earlier, it was Shadow that got a little caught up. That's the flash. Shockwave, here comes Kaiser. Solar Flare lands down. Will there be enough follow-up damage? The Devour from Redbird keeps him alive, but the burn will take him out. Humanoid and Kaiser find the kill. It's a little late, but I do need to give you a quick update that the first blood in this game is the latest of Worlds 2020 so far. It just builds and highlights how the tension and the slower pace of game is playing out. Mad Lions, while they commit to mid, they do not get access to the Herald. It'll be Shinny and INTZ that pick themselves up the second Rift Herald. And Mad Lions will now start putting pressure on the bottom outer, while the top outer goes down.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the draft. Kog'Maw is so immobile. Humanoid instantly pulls the trigger because Envy had flash in around 20 seconds just before that play, so make sure he punishes it, calls in Kaiser. They pick up the kill on the immobile Kog'Maw, and like you said, 2 towers traded, so barring that kill on Kog'Maw, INTZ did come out ahead because they got the Herald, so bot tier 1 should get cracked open really easily with Tay being in the bot side. Pop the Herald from Shinny, go back towards mid, and look at the vision control on the map right now. There's 3 pings for the side of Mad Lions, one just got moved to the top side, but they're all kind of in the river, so INTZ, there's no pinks in the river for them. They need to start clearing out these pinks, get some vision, then Kog'Maw can step up aggressively, push these waves in, Tay can start pushing in bot more aggressively, and he won't get arrested by the weak side police, so Mad Lions, I think they're going to cross map again. They're going to play for top tier 1, INTZ going to play for bot tier 1. It's kind of like a handshake right now.
But with a minute 20 till the next dragon, and the fact that Mad Lions picked up the first, let's see if this handshake play goes, which is what it looks like is happening. Can INTZ get the tower as well as the dragon? And you can see all of the wards from Mad Lions in the northern quadrant of the jungle. That red Brambleback from INTZ is fully covered.
And Redbird needs to do the same thing. He needs to pair up with Shinny and get really deep vision into bot side so Tay can push aggressively. You can see him on the minimap now. Moving in there, he's going to scatter all his wards around, light it up. And someone's going to have to catch top wave from the side of INTZ. I don't think they should drop them. Investing a TP, they don't really have one to invest. I think Mikhail would die if he TP'd there, but Humanoid's going to get a lot of damage on this tier 2. I think INTZ either commit for this tier 2 or someone has to base soon.
Humanoid's still got the teleport available, so if INTZ stick around and there's a potential skirmish, which is what Shinny's threatening, there could be a fight. You can see Humanoid starts to back away. Dragon is up in 30 seconds, so this ends up just being a huge trade. Yep. Humanoid, the big beneficiary. He's got 30 CS in the lead already. He's picked up the solo towers, and if there's going to be a dragon fight, he may be able to farm up and TP in for it.
Yeah, definitely slightly beneficial for Mad just because INTZ wasn't catching the top waves. You can see the waves bouncing in top now, whereas Arome was able to catch the bot wave, which was stacking for tier 2.
Well.
They're going to lose their red as well, but bot side vision is better for the dragon, obviously, because it's on the bot side of the map. So this INTZ vision is definitely more beneficial for them, but Tay is going to the top side. He doesn't have TP, so I'm guessing INTZ are going to give this up, try to contest topside vision. Baron's coming up soon, and it's either Ocean or Infernal. It's Ocean Soul, so INTZ, they need to start fighting from now on.
Now this is huge because Ocean Soul is going to benefit both teams exceptionally well. I mean, it does every comp, right? But even more so today. And the thing, Cadril, that I really want to call attention to is you talked about the playstyles. Mad Lions will want to force objectives, will want to fight around objectives. The 1,000 gold difference, frankly, doesn't mean anything right now in the grand scheme of things. And when you look at Humanoid, the player that I said needs to be Umanoid this game, he is poised to do so. How do INTZ, from their perspective, play this out? We know Mad are going to look for either towers or the Baron or the Dragon. We know they want to force team fights. INTZ needs to kind of catch that and deal with it in some way. Yeah,
look at the items across INTZ. They're so close to Black Cleaver. They're so close to maybe a Zhonya's on the side of Kog'Maw so he can live longer. Death Stance on Camille. I think they've given up the early Dragons. I think that was a good choice. You have double tier carries. Even though Mad Lions does as well, they have more playmaking. They have more engage. They have more zone control over the neutral objectives. So INTZ, get those 2 items in. I think Tay might be getting this top tier 2 right now. Mad Lions might need to collapse. Looks like they're going to go for it. So Tay will have to back off. And when those 2 item spikes come in, then I'm expecting INTZ to start pulling the trigger on these late game dragons. The 3rd dragon, 4 minutes away. I'm expecting a fight to be over that or Baron control vision.
Yo, this is so difficult because this feels like it's coming down to a handshake of like late game objective fights.
Yep.
And then it's execution. You've got 2 different styles of team comp. They're going to be clashing at least to some degree. And it's 2 teams that frankly haven't shown the greatest execution yet in the group stage. So the pressure could not be higher.
I agree. And the way INTZ want to control these neutral objectives is Tay. Tay is the key for them right now. They have double global on the side of Mikau and Redbird. When that Tahm Kench hits level 11, his ult range is going to be really long. So Tay can push in these waves. He wins the side lane. They have double global. They need to play over waves when the neutral objective spawns. So on this 3rd dragon, I want to see Tay start pushing in these towers, make Mad Lions respond to the waves and make them have to TP into the objective to actually be able to contest it.
Yo, this is so crazy. The very first game, the very first potential first blood of Worlds, Tay pulled off the most illegal teleport I've ever seen in professional play. He was on the Urgot facing off against Shadow's Evelyn, right?
That was really illegal, yeah.
3.5 days later, he is up 50 CS against Arome's Wukong. He's on the carry with Death Dance and Triforce, and he could be the playmaker that brings them to playoffs best of 5.
They saw Shinny with the sweeper, but he's going in.
Has found his target, jumps onto Kazi, flash, heal, arcane shift, but they didn't get the kill. Dawning Shadow goes out, and Humanoid's Shockwave's done nothing.
Kazi's out the fight.
The Wukong ulti has not done enough, and it's INTZ pushing the Mad Lions back. Shadow forced to flash, and nobody dies.
2 flashes burned from the side of Mad Lions, only 1 from the side of INTZ. Pretty much all the ultimates were used there in that fight as well, so Mad Lions, they just about got away. You saw the Sentinel ult come across, Kazi just about survived, but Mad Lions, good decision not to overcommit. They had the Wukong ult with a lot of knockups, but you need to back off when Kazi's too chunked.
Yo, huge apologies to anyone wearing headphones. I didn't expect the volume I was going to hit there, but the first big 5v5 at 22 minutes. It's 2 minutes before the Ocean Drake. Everybody threw everything in, but you can see when the skill shots and the damage don't connect at the same time, Kazi was able to escape. Shinny, Envy, Mikau, not really under huge threat, but now flashless, ultimateless, and setting up either the tower or the dragon. Things are going to get interesting.
No flash.
Shift, buy some time, there's no showstopper available. Mystic shots need to buy it out, and Shinny didn't find the initiation. Kaiser goes over the wall. Humanoid Shockwave is available, but needs to find multiple targets. It's flashed away from. Redbird gets away. And for the second time, everyone throws in and nobody dies.
That's 2 fights, but it's 2 teasers. That's what to expect when the real fights come in and people start dying. I mean, there's so much zone control from Mad Lions. You saw INTZ, every single fight so far, they kind of peel back, wait for Mad Lions to overcommit, and then the Kog'Maw Senna kind of turn on them. The Camille looks for the hook shot to get the engage. So I think there was a bit of miscommunication there. I think Kazi could have died if Shinny committed to the play, but he was a bit hesitant. He ran back, he ran forth, didn't land the E, and then Tay kind of tried to go in because he committed the TP. But the Dragons in 50 seconds, it's not the end of the world for Tay to be on bot side right now, so...
Do Mad Lions give it up, or do you think they contest for it?
Oh, they're going to contest for it. They're going to start fighting. I mean, look at the items across the board. I mean, we said INTZ, when they have the 2 items, they're going to fight, and they're responding to them. Although the fights are slightly reactive, apart from the TP, they're doing pretty well to keep the control. You can see the mid waves are being pushed in. They still have their mid-tier 1. They're putting some vision into bot side, so they need to get the 3rd dragon. Because once you're on 3rd dragon soul point, if they steal the 4th, it's game-changing.
Of course, now... Reminder, the loser of this is done. The loser of this game goes home. 1 win, 3 losses, and the tiebreaker defeat. 20 seconds until the Dragon. Some decent vision here from INTZ. and looking. There's a teleport up.
Ooh, that shockwave.
That shockwave was not really going to do enough. Humanoid's running for his life. Come on, Protect keeps him alive. That's the showstopper. Flash away from Humanoid. Shinny gets devoured up, spat out. Shadow takes him out. True Shot Barrage flies across the INTZ backline, and Mikau and Envy are trying to spit back. Living Artillery is doing so much work. So far, it's a 2-for-1. The hook shot goes long range. Hextech Ultimatum locks in Shadow. Arome has held on to the Cyclone. He manages to get the knockdown. He's locked out. He's rooted. The Living Artillery is doing so much, and Arome gets taken out.
It's an ace.
Mikau and Envy stay alive. Mad Lions are aced.
It's a 3-for-5, Trevor. I don't think they can do Baron. I don't think the game's kind of set and done. They're going to get the Dragon for sure, so they're going to deny the Ocean Soul point, but wow, that team fight was crazy. Humanoid steps up to try and get a good shockwave chunk before the Drake, but he just gets backfired. They engage on him. Shinny gets taken down, but Humanoid blew the flash in the fight. Envy blew the flash in the fight. Mikau as well. So many flashes burned, so the next fight is going to be critical.
There is too much to follow and so much threat. Envy and Mikau played at the maximum range that Kog'Maw and Senna can, and despite all the pressure, they managed to stay alive.
Yeah, look at the ulti from Shinny here. He tries to put Kaiser on top of Humanoid. Humanoid does flash away, and then now it's like you can see Redbird dies as well. It's like a 3v5, but Mikau and Envy doing so much poke damage from the backline. Kog'Maw and Senna just playing the range so well, and Shadow, no flash. Tay engages the fight, and they just stay on the backline. Arome knows he needs to turn, because if Arome doesn't turn there, they're going to kill Shadow. And eventually Shadow does go down. Tay essentially 1v3s the backline. Picks up a triple kill, but he does die for it.
That is so worth. 3-1-2. Tay, the man that opened group stage and may be the one to close this out for INTZ. They get their first Dragon. They're up 1,500 gold, but I cannot give enough praise to Mikau and Envy. They held their distance side by side. The Cyclone came in, and yes, it sounds so logical when you say it out loud, but to execute that flawlessly under this much pressure, exceptionally well done. INTZ will lose their mid outer turret while Tay is pushing in the top lane, and there's enough support to catch the wave as it goes to the inner.
Now they need to play even more safe than they did last time. No flashes on the side of Mikau or Envy. Mikau will have it up first, but Envy really needs to be careful. He's picked up the Banshee's Veil. Redbird will be there to kind of eat him away from any sort of danger like the Leona ultimate, but this Banshee's Veil is going to stop the Leona ultimate. It's going to stop the shockwaves coming in for the poke, and look at Mikau's items. He's really strong right now. 3-0 and 4. He's doing so much damage in the fights, and if they can keep up this long-range sort of damage, the only way to respond to long-range damage is engaging on it. And you saw Arome try to do it, but there wasn't enough follow-up.
Oh, whoa.
Humanoid doesn't have TP.
This is a bit of a surprise. Humanoid, no teleport. INTZ
I think they can rush this.
Fully aware of it. Now, Shadow will have his flash available by time this is going down. It's a couple seconds out. He's got the smite available to him. Humanoid's going to be so low. Collateral damage, flash, smite, 2,000 HP. Arome's got the Cyclone as well. Initiation. Baron is going low. It's picked up by INTZ. Now can they win the fight? Cyclone knocks up one, knocks up two. Redbird will be the sacrificial catfish, and INTZ so far look like they can get out alive.
Such good decision making from INTZ. They saw Humanoid catch bot wave with no TP. They had a perfect timer. It was around 30 seconds till it came up, so instantly called to start the Baron. They didn't really want to turn. You could see them kind of huddled in the pit, and then they used Redbird as like a bait. Okay, you go in, you go die. We're going to run. We've got Baron on the side of Camille. We've got Baron on Kog'Maw. Everyone has Baron now apart from Redbird, so if they wait for him to come up, they should be able to regain map control. The only problem with doing Baron like this is you lose tempo on the map, so you'll see Mad Lions moving to the river. INTZ need to be a bit careful on these side lanes until they get vision, and then they can start playing with the Baron and taking towers.
Rapid Fire Cannon was picked up by Mikau. Guardian Angel was picked up by Tay. Baron buff on 4 of the 5 members, and an Ocean Drake in 2 minutes' time. INTZ have the tools they need to start strangling the map and pushing out the Mad Lions. Add that into the fact that there's a 60 CS advantage for Tay. He's got a 2-level advantage, and his split pushing has already been terrifying.
3-level advantage. He just hit level 17. 3 levels up with a GA and a Death Stance. Look at Arome's items. He doesn't even have a Death Stance. He has a Tiamat.
This man has something to prove. This man has something to say for the small mistake of teleport at the beginning of the game. Now he will get jumped on. Shockwave, Cyclone. I mean, every single ultimate has been used. That pops the GA. Look at the rest of INTZ. They're pushing in the mid lane. So yes, there is a kill.
Weak side police.
Weak side police. Woo woo. The alarm has sounded, but at what cost? Because INTZ get a kill in the mid. Now they've lost Baron on Tay for another minute and 20. That is probably the biggest one and slowing down what could be further pushing.
Definitely way more worth for Mad Lions. Although they did lose a tier 2 mid, it was about 30% HP before the play anyway. And Tay loses his Guardian Angel, loses the Baron buff, loses all this bot push, and That's the thing, when your team's catching mid-wave in between the tier 1s, you can't start farming enemy team's Krugs. At 30 minutes into the game, Tay gets punished, good identification from Kaiser, flashes over the wall and gets on him, so Mad Lions might be able to respond with a tier 2 mid. Tay has TP, so if they stay for too long, there could be another fight.
Shinny's looking for an initiation, he's got that flash available to him, the Chilling Smite too, and here comes Envy. Gonna remind everyone again, INTZ have been in tiebreaker games every time Play-ins has been around. In 2017 was the only time they won the tiebreaker to advance to knockouts, and they lost to 1907 Fenerbahce. INTZ may be on the cusp of making
TP's coming in from Tay.
The best of
20
fives.
seconds on the Dragon.
Tay's come from the mid lane. He is flying through the jungle. TP coming in here from Arome, and the rest of INTZ begin to back away. We've got a 5v5 setup in the jungle. Who's looking better right now?
This is what I want to see. I want to see INTZ pushing this mid-wave and go back towards the Dragon. You're going to have so much control. Engaging here is a bit risky, but Shinny's looking for it.
They absolutely are. A lot of damage on the Shinny so far. He's forced to flash defensively. Arome manages to find out Tay. Hextech Ultimatum goes down. Defensive flash, hook shot away. The command attack and collateral damage takes out Tay, and that means Mad Lions in the chaos find themselves a kill and buy themselves some time. Kazi goes all the way forward, takes a lot of damage from Mikau, misses the Mystic shot, and Envy
look at the poke,
spitting away. The living artillery is making it so difficult to push forward through the damage that Envy's putting down.
Mad don't have any engaged left, and INTZ are going to stay around. They're going to be nuisances. The Dragon's up. They just want to keep poking them out. You can see Envy's throwing away the spells, Mikau's throwing away spells, but once Mad Lions push this wave in, they should be able to move towards the Dragon, and INTZ need more patience. Tay and Shinny need to just calm down, push in the waves, go towards the Dragon, and let them be the ones face-checking you, rather than you be walking into them. And Mad Lions, they're on Ocean Dragon point, sole point.
Unbelievable. It's still 1,000 gold separating these teams 31 minutes into the game. The item disparity between Arome and Tay is gigantic. Titanic, Warhammer, and Triforce versus Death Dance, GA, and Pickaxe. But I do believe Arome will have a bunch of cash to spend once he goes back. And this is the replay of INTZ splitting up.
Yeah, look at the positioning. You don't want to really fight in this pot. It's like a high ground, low ground kind of thing. INTZ can't really do damage. Look at the carries. They're a bit too split. And Shinny goes in, face checks Mad Lions. And that's not really how you want to play the third Dragon. You want to push in the waves, move towards the jungle, sweep out their vision, let them be the ones face-checking you, and then you can be the ones to pull the trigger, because normally when you're the ones calling the engage and you're ahead, it's more of a beneficial fight than you over chasing into their jungle.
Oh man, I love Worlds Tiebreakers so much. 4 minutes until the next Ocean, and that is the sole for Mad Lions. It's the second for INTZ. INTZ, for the most part, have felt like they've been able to catch whatever pressure Mad have thrown at them, and actually been able to hit back a little bit harder. That previous siege, or that previous invade in towards the Mad Lions jungle was a misstep that was punished.
This game's on a knife edge, Trevor. One misstep by Envy or Mikau and they die, the fight's over. One misstep by Humanoid with no flash and the fight's over as well. There's so much relying on Humanoids and Arome's shoulders here to get the right kind of wombo combo. Use the ults to a huge effect and just try and zone away this poke that INTZ is throwing at them.
So how important is it that Envy, Mikau, Redbird all have flash available right now? Kaiser is on Hex flash, Humanoid's flash is down, so is Arome's.
Yep.
You know, it's weird. On one hand, you want Mad Lions to try start a fight, get those flashes, so that by the time you're fighting for the next Dragon, they're down. But at the same token, they can't risk it because Human and Arome don't have theirs up.
Yeah, they need to get this gap closed with the INTZ backline, and even then, Redbird's kind of peeling. So you can see the way INTZ's played fights over the course of the game. Tay and Shinny diving in, Mikau and Envy poking them out, and then Mad Lions, how do you respond? Do you peel back and try to kite them away? Well, you can't because you're getting poked, so you have to turn. Arome has to find the engage on the backline while Humanoid deals with the front line of Tay and Shinny, and then they can start to assist. But Redbird, a bit caught there.
Solar Flare, not the best, but he'll get the flash. Solar Flare for flash.
Not bad.
Well worth it. While we got a brief moment before this next fight, don't go anywhere after this game because Team Liquid will be taking on Legacy for first and second in the group.
Look at Humanoid's items, Trevor. He's sitting on 4
Deathcap.
items.
Yeah,
he has so much ability power right now. 1 QW from the side of that arena, and I can tell you Senna is 10% HP.
Dude, how does he get to Senna? He's got to get through Camille, Shen, Tom Kench.
Well, INTZ have to get to them because they have full control over this Baron. The Dragon's in 2 minutes 30, so INTZ eventually are going to have to walk in and contest this vision. And when they do, if Kaiser has the ultimate back up and he just instantly engaged on them, then I think they're in a good spot. But Mad Lions, they could also opt to wait in for their flashes, I think.
Yo, K-Drill, just a quick reminder that Holy Trinity, Graves 6-0, Oriana 8-0. They are being pushed real hard, potentially for their first defeat. By the way, Senna has 80 stacks on her passive.
Whoa.
And look at this gold graph. It has swung from INTZ control to even, and it is still even at 34 minutes. Ocean is up in 2. I don't see a real world, unless someone makes a mistake, a fight breaking out before that Ocean Drake. So what I think we need to do, let's look at Vision, and let's see who's brave enough to fight for Vision, but Baron is up as well, so you could take a trade.
You definitely don't want to trade Ocean Soul for Baron, because Baron will last a couple minutes, but the Ocean Soul will last forever. But INTZ, they've regained control of the map because Mad Lions were down in tempo. They had the base. Tay's going in here. It's 1v5.
They're engaging so hard. Here comes Shinny over the wall. Tay's forced to run away. His GA's been popped, but he hasn't got Kaiser just yet. Kaiser escapes with his life. The Cyclone's huge, and Shinny goes down. Orome's chasing Macau and Tay. Redbird's sitting inside the middle of the Mad Lions, and Envy is using that living artillery to the best of his ability. INTZ lose 1, and Mad Lions are pushing towards Baron.
Mad Lions' positioning in that fight was wonderful. Humanoid was stepping up with Arome, just running past the front line of INTZ, and Mikau instantly had to flash away from the shockwave. Envy still does have it. He has TP. He's going to TP back in. Can he steal the Baron?
They're going to commit for this one. Shinny, no, not alive for a while. Envy can spit those living artilleries for days. Mad Lions don't commit. They don't risk the throw, and they back out.
Yeah, Dragon in 45 seconds. INTZ need to just drop topside, go push his midwave, run towards bot side. Redbird doesn't have any wards left though, so he might need to base before this Dragon, otherwise they're not going to get any vision. And you can see Mad Lions conserving the tempo, TPing back in. Tay has to deal with top wave, and INTZ are going to have to regain control of this bot side river because they need to fight this Dragon.
Marcus Aurelius, are you not entertained?
Why does Tay go in here? He goes in 1 versus 5. He doesn't have the tenacity to be able to ult instantly. He procs his GA in the backside, so it's essentially a 4v5. If Shinny doesn't go in there, they're just going to engage on the backline, and that shockwave was so close to hitting the backline of INTZ, and now they have to phase check. Tay, he has TP. He's probably going to TP mid, and they have to go through mid into the Dragon because 7 seconds. If Mad Lions rush this down, it's Ocean Soul.
36 minutes is fast approaching. Tay's TP'd into the mid lane. Mikau, no flash. Redbird, no flash, but Envy has his.
Kazi's soloing it.
Gets chunked out there.
INTZ on a timer.
This is the Soul, down to 3,000. INTZ are going to be very late. Dragon is going to be secured. That's picked up by Mad Lions. Europe and the LEC will have the buff. Now Tay is under threat. Smokescreen tags him out. Mad Lions turn their attention to the INTZ back line. Flash is still available for Humanoid, and Tay is running them around the jungle. And Mad Lions make their way out. Ocean Soul on the side of Mad, and Baron will be the next objective to be fought over.
God, Mad Lions have the game sort of in their hands. Ocean Soul is so powerful.
That's not very confident. That's a flash engage. Redbird is under some trouble. The shockwave's not been pulled yet. Shinny and Tay waiting. That's a shockwave used just for Redbird. Macau with the Dawning Shadows. Here comes Shinny. Redbird finally goes down, but Envy's in a fantastic spot, spitting the poison from behind the chicken camp. All of a sudden, Arome with the Hextech Ultimatum needs to get away. That's the flash QW that Humanoid was looking for. Mac and the rest of the Mad Lions crew are cheering behind the scenes as the blast cone brings Shinny and Tay to safety, but Shadow's not done yet. The flash forward, end of the line. Collateral damage is on cooldown. Kazi is looking for Envy. The spit, the damage, the living artillery, and Kazi does it. That's the third kill as Shinny's the next target.
Aroma needs to go to mid now. He needs to TP there now. If they can stop Tay from basing, they should be able to end this. There's 40 seconds on the carries of the side of INTZ. Arome hunting down Tay here.
He's trying to find him. Shadow as well. This will be a 2-on-1 while the rest of the Mad Lions are pushing into the base. This is a lot of damage onto Shadow. Tay's going to look for the precision protocol. He's putting so much damage out. The tactical sweep buys some time. GA will proc. Keep your eyes on the minimap. All of a sudden, Redbird is up and alive. Tay continues to chase for Shadow when he's down.
Is Arome going to TP in the base?
And Shadow finds it. That's the teleport. Nexus turret number 1 is down.
3 seconds.
Nexus turret number 2 is down. And for the 3rd year in a row, the CB LOL fall flat at the tiebreaker. Mad Lions advance to the knockouts.
I never doubted them, Trevor.
You, sir, are a